Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Scent Safari. Today we're going to look at a house that is not unknown or under the radar. Instead, it is one that gets a lot of love online and the fragrance community, and one that is highly revered by critics, most critics anyway, and that is the niche house of Mona de Orio. I've reached out to the Orio to see if they wanted to do a Scent Safari episode with me, and Henrique sent me large samples of almost all of their scents, so thank you, Henrique. I believe these samples, as you can see, these are the same sort of vials that Hermes uses, and I think these are all 3 ml. They might be 4. And the way Scent Safari works, I'm sure you guys know, is I reach out to a brand that I don't own a bottle of yet in my very large collection of almost 500 fragrances, and ask for some samples. They send me some. I pick 4. I smell them for the first time on camera about a couple hours before I record the video. I apply them to pulse points. A couple hours later, right before the show, I reapply them. So I get a little bit of the dry down, the middle stages, and then I'm refreshed at the top. And then I talk about my reactions to them. Before we talk about these 4, let's talk about the house. This is a niche house out of the Netherlands, started by Mona de Orio and a partner. De Orio was a classically trained perfumer who studied for 15 years under Edmond Rautiska. For those of you who aren't aware about Edmond, he is a perfume legend. He did the original Eau Sauvage for Dior in 1966. He did Durissimo in 1956, which is one of my mother's favorite fragrances. He did Eau de Hermes in 1951, a Moustache for Rochas in 1948. Recently, posthumously, he did Le Parfum de Therese for Frederic Malle in 2000. He actually passed on in 1996, I believe it was. So after working 15 years under him, de Orio left with a partner to start her own niche house in 2004. The first collection was released in 2006. It was inspired by the mathematical concept of the golden ratio, which is also used by great cocktail mixologists, and the collection was called Le Nombre d'Or. And the collection was created to explore classic fragrance accords like leather, musk, vanilla, and amber. Now, really unfortunately and shocking the fragrance world in 2011, at the age of 42, Mona de Orio died in an operating room, but the house has lived on under her partner's leadership, and it still flourishes today. They recently updated some of their bottles and released some newer fragrances, and we're going to take a look at 4 of those fragrances today. If you're looking to buy from this house in New York City, you can find the collection at Min New York and Twisted Lily in Brooklyn. And if you're looking online, Scent does carry the collection. So let's start with this guy, and this is their Rose. Now, Rose was released in 2012. I think this is one of the last scents that de Orio composed, and I'm starting with Rose because my subscribers know that I have a complicated relationship with Rose. There are very few Rose scents that I enjoy. A few Rouge Avignon by Fade On I like, Tea Rose by Perfumer's Workshop, Rose Kandahar by Andy Tauber, Rose Calligraphy by Aramis. I know I'm naming a lot, but and Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle I think is the best Rose fragrance of all time. A little too feminine for me. Your notes on Rose are aldehydes, bergamot, and white peach at the top, rose, cloves, and geranium in the middle, leather, patchouli, cedar, heliotrope, vanilla, benzoin, amber, and peru balsam in the middle. 100 ml of this one will set you back $230. Now, this one is really well done. For me, it starts with a really almost metallic feel, which I don't like, but as it dries down, it starts to become heady. And I'm smelling it now. You get this really fresh rose with some woods and clove, and I definitely also pick up the peach at the top. It's a really good fragrance. I'd say it's feminine, too feminine for me, but for a rose scent, I think this one is really well done. It has a little bit of powderiness to it. I would recommend this to all rose lovers. You know, definitely take a good look at this one. The next one we're going to look at, these roll away pretty easily, is this guy, and this one is Vanille. Now, this is a note that I normally love. This one was a 2011 release, same price as the Rose. This one was also done by Orio and features notes of petitgrain, clove, rum, and bitter orange at the top, of vetiver, sandalwood, gaiac wood, and ylang ylang in the middle, amber, tonka, vanilla, Toulouse balsam, leather, and musk in the base. Now, you see you see vanilla and booze if you're thinking Spiritus Double Vanille by Guerlain. Because of that, keep walking. This is a much drier, crackly, almost dusty, mature, and high quality vanilla. You're going to get booze, vanilla, and bitter orange. That's what I get out of this one. To me, the conjured image for me on this one is a snifter full of warm, dark Cuban rum that's turned vanillic from oak barrels with dried orange peel. This is a great cold weather, sit by the fire fragrance, really boozy, really well done. I love this one. I definitely will be getting a bottle of this one. Really great vanilla and very different from many of the vanilla fragrances I have, which tend to be on the sweet side. The next one we're going to look at, this one, which is called Kier, or Leather, as you guys probably know it. A lot of people who like smoky animalic leathers love this one. Same price as the others. This was a 2010 release featuring notes of opopanax, cardamom, castoreum, leather, wormwood, and juniper. Now, in my opinion, this one gets the most fanfare in the community. It's pretty easy to see why. If you like your leathers tamed and smooth and that almost suede sort of leather and Tuscan leather and in black saffron by Byredo, keep going. Again, this is smoky and animalic, not animalic to the point of Leather Oud by Dior or Cure d'Araby by Montal. It doesn't have the barnyard to it, but the smoke is front and center, and you also get a heavy, and I do mean heavy, dose of castoreum. And this one, it's not exactly my cup of tea. I don't find it to be offensive. I definitely do not think this smells bad. I admire it as a fragrance. I don't know that it's something I'd reach for without spending more time with it. With that said, it's really easy to see why a lot of people point to this as the most exciting from the brand. I would say this is a really risky perfume and really a throwback to some of the beautiful leather fragrances like Nise 10 and Cœur de Rousse by Chanel. If you love smoky and animalic leathers, you've got to give this one a look. The one we're going to finish up with is the one that I probably was most interested in from the collection, and that is their Oud. This one was also done by Orio, originally released in 2011, rebranded recently as Oud Osmanthus. This one is pricey. This one is almost $400 for 75 ml, $395 to be exact. And the notes on it are petitgrain, elemi, and mandarin at the top, osmanthus, patchouli, and cypriol oil in the middle, cedar, amber, oud, and musk in the base. Okay, so a couple of things here. Smelling it now again. I don't get much oud out of this for me. Very little. To me, this opens up almost with a citrusy thing and the same sort of green that fresh fragrances with petitgrain has. It really pops as soon as you put this one on. As it opens up, what I get more than anything else is osmanthus. Osmanthus and amber is what I really get out of this one. Now, for me, because of that, it doesn't really justify the price tag, in my opinion, but if you like floral ambers, check this one out. There's a ton of love for this fragrance online, so really check this one out. Don't take my word on it because I'm not a huge fan of osmanthus. I don't really love florally amber scents, but this one's really good. I definitely understand the price tag. I just don't know if it's something I would reach for. So what's my takeaway? Well, my takeaway is Mono de Orio is a fantastic perfume house. It's easy to see what they're doing. They're making really high quality perfumes with grade A materials, and a fair price point, really, to be honest. There's no gimmicks here. They started off making very classic fragrances, and scents have been very experimental, but it's no mystery to see why this fragrance house is as revered as it is. They're just no bullshit. They're really not fussing around. They're making like classical high-end perfumes. They're not trying to be like gimmicky. They're not trying to shock. They're just about making beautiful, high quality scents. I know I said it again, but that's really what I think about now when I think about this brand. And you can see, just look at the samples. It has this sort of beautiful Art Deco vibe to it. The typeface is really, really cool. The caps are really cool. This is a grade A top flight house. So I recommend going through the line, not just looking at these four. Look at some of their other newer releases, Mercasati, Violet Fumé, and see what they can do, because they're making really high quality scents that I don't think they get enough attention in our community. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this scent safari with Mona Orio, Mona di Orio. We'll be back next week with another episode. Guys, you know what it is. My name is Maximilian, and I must know. Thank you again, Henrique at Mona di Orio, for the samples. Peace.